side do you see your own? Let's flow now with all those pretty little things you buy and all those frowns and sighs deep. Wake up to the sound of silence. Be still and know that I am here. Take my hand, I will hold you. I will wait for your tears. My grace is sufficient for you. My love will wash away the past. Lay your burdens on the shoulder. No trials will pass. Be still and know. Walking down the road, all alone, turned away from home. Why do you, dear, insist on trying to do things on your own? When you're crying and screaming that it's all gone away, that you've been put to shame. When will you deal? Open your eyes, the words I have. I will be here with you, with you, with you, with you. Wake up to the sound of silence. Be still and know that I am here. Take my hand, I will hold you. I will wait all your tears. My grace is sufficient for you. My love will wash away the past. Lay side, do you see your own? Let's flow now with all those pretty little things you buy and all those frowns and sighs different. Wake up to the sound of silence. Be still and know that I am here. Take my hand, I will hold you. I will wait for your tears. My grace is sufficient for you. My love will wash away the past. Lay your burdens on your shoulders. No trials will pass. Be still and know. Walking down the road, all alone, turned away from home. Why do you, dear, insist on trying to do things on your own? When you're crying and screaming that it's all gone away, that you've been put to shame. When will you deal? Open your eyes, the words I have. I will be here with you, with you, with you. Wake up to the sound of silence. Be still and know that I am here. Take my hand, I will hold you. Wipe away all your tears. My grace is sufficient for you. My love will wash away the past. Lay your burdens
It worked.
It worked.
It worked.
It's about time.
Yes, it finally. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. But when I opened Melon today to set everything up for today, I tried it and it worked. It was great. You know
I'm on.
why? You know why you're going fuzzy. I'm going to tell you why you're going fuzzy.
Why?
You need a light behind that camera.
Should do some re-angling here. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, if you have a light behind the camera, you probably won't have that issue. Just saying. I got a new light. I'm nice and bright today.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Yes, I'm very bright today. So,
Well, I don't know. Hopefully, it'll unblur itself anyway.
so how's it going?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
there he is.
going
There he
very
is.
good.
So you are going to bring him in.
Yeah, obviously. It's
You
got.
are going to bring him in, but that's great. That's excellent. You might as well. You might as well. You might as well have him on the bed right beside you, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's part of this
So
channel as
you
much
are
as I
in
am.
a different room today. You are in your bedroom today. What's going on?
So Nadine has just got back from a work trip, so she's on the couch relaxing. She's been away for the last 6 days, so she's giving her the TV today.
You know, it would have been perfect time for you to set up your room during the time that you were off because of COVID.
Yeah, but I think I said it last week, as we've got a bed in there at the moment, just in
Oh
case. Yeah,
yes,
so
yes,
just
that's
gotta
right.
wait for that.
Yeah, that's good. So we got a couple of great guests coming up today. I'm really looking forward to speaking to Rob and Bill from the Get Haunted Network. We're going to find everything out about the network and what they are about, and then we're going to find out more about them as individuals, as paranormal investigators. So I'm really, really looking forward to speaking to them today. And it's actually kind of funny story. Small bottle, not big one.
I wasn't judging. Wait, one sec, one sec, one sec.
No, really, you have to leave during this. Yeah, you have a big one? You have a
No,
big bottle today?
I have a little can.
So yeah, I've been kind of under the weather for the last week and a half.
Oh no.
I just haven't been feeling right,
Mm.
and I don't know what's going on. It's started off as a head cold, but it's still a head cold. But I thought I'd get rid of it, and then it came back. So, anyways, so we're gonna find out more about Rob and Bill today. But before we get to them, we have some things to talk about today, and one of the first things we're going to talk about. I see Matt is in the room. We are going to be, just to let everybody know that does not know, we will be on the Paracast on January 19th. He wants to interview us for some reason. I don't know why.
I have no idea. I can't imagine why.
Yeah. So he showed me the thumbnail that he's going to be using for the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you've been on Facebook lately and watched any of the Paracasts and stuff like that, but
No, not
he
a little bit.
the thumbnail he created was quite funny actually.
Oh, really?
I think I think it says turning the lens on Bryan and Lex.
That's
From Through
good.
the Lens.
That's very good. That's very clever. You know what?
I think Matt is very, very proud of that. Very, very proud of that thumbnail. So I know when we before we came on live today, we were talking about Chucky that is sitting right beside Lex right now, and if it starts moving, we're going to shut down the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to shut down the show.
Even
And
better if he just moves a little bit. I'm kind of hoping that he gets up and just fucks off. He's like, I'm done. I'm out. He just walks off.
and so January 19th we will be on the Paracast with Matt Barron, so you guys are definitely going to want to check that out. And obviously I would be maybe Matt might say something to me if I didn't broadcast this or didn't say this or whatever. But next week, guys, January 15th, 1 p.m. Eastern, the big show. The very, very big show. Women Investigate 2. It's going to be a great show. So I wanted to talk about that or mention that as well. There are a couple of things that I do want to mention that I mentioned on the
Keep going.
the Paracast. Oh, okay.
Don't pay attention to me.
Matt had an open mic on Friday, the Paracast. I guess he had a guest that ended up having to cancel, so he decided that he was going to do an open mic. So I got to talk a little bit about what's going on with Parapost. So there's some new things coming up with Parapost in the next couple of weeks. And if you don't know about them, well, you're going to find out about them now, I guess. Yeah, something like that, right? So I've been really wanting live on the site. Really, really wanting live on the site. I think that is going to really, really help Parapost a lot. So I found out on Friday that we're going to be able to have live on the site.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. So, which is really, really good. So what it's basically going to be is, unfortunately for now, you are only going to be able to go live on Parapost through YouTube. So once you go live on YouTube, you will be able to go live on Parapost. So it'll automatically upload to Parapost. So that is one thing that I'm really looking forward to having, because I know a lot of people have been asking me when's live stream coming, because they want to go live. But yes, you're going to be able to go live, but you can only go live through YouTube for now.
It's a good start. It's definitely a good start.
Yeah, so there's a very, very big thing coming up with Parapost. I'm not going to talk about it today, but there's a really, really big thing coming up with Parapost later in the year. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a game changer for Parapost. So definitely stay tuned for that. Later on down the road, I will be sharing that as well. And also, I mentioned on this show, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that language to put up on Parapost so people can go in if they're a different language. I found out on Friday I don't need to install that.
Oh, cool.
You can install that through your browser. So if you go through your browser, go to the settings and go to advanced settings, you'll see language, and you can actually change the site through that way. So I don't really need to add that plugin, which is great.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, another great thing I found out. So anyways, that's all about, I guess, I don't want to say about me, but that's all I really need to talk about that. So what's going on with you, Lex?
Well, seeing as I've fully recovered from COVID now, I don't have any issues. It is now getting to planning the next few weeks and get some videos out. Try and got that house investigation to try and get rescheduled to do. I do have I mean, Brian already knows what this video will be about, but I do have a minor announcement video that should be coming out next week, just to fill in some gaps about why I've not been present with certain things. So I've got that small announcement video. I've got another dissection video coming where I'm looking at someone's giving me their investigation video. I've watched it. Well, I watched it live on camera, so I've did it first time viewing, so I didn't see any of it beforehand, and I dissect the evidence. And I try and go through, not to try to debunk it as such, but to explain certain things, what could cause this, what that could be, and get my mind blown by some of the best evidence that some these investigators have got. So I've got one of those videos coming out, and then hopefully the third one will be that house investigation, or if not, I will find an investigation somewhere.
Chucky's moving. Chucky is moving.
Sit still. You should have gone before the live.
Chucky is moving. I don't like it. I was saying before the show that before we came on live, Chucky needs a hair clip.
He does. He's got this little emo finger. I mean, he looks like me now. We got the same.
Yeah, what's going on with that? What's going on with your hair, buddy?
Growing it out, bro.
Really? Are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Too long, or what? What are you thinking?
Well, I don't know yet. I'm going to keep going until I don't like it, I think. So, but annoyingly, it naturally grows like this. So I have to look like 15-year-old me again. But hopefully, as soon as it starts to fill out, I can do some stuff. But I've just figured, well, I turned 29 last week, and I don't know
Still
how
a young
much.
pup.
I know I don't know how much time I've got until I can't have hair. So
I don't know, Dad.
and
I
I
don't
can't
know.
and I'm not
I
allowed to
don't
lose
know.
my hair, Brian, because if I lose my hair and you don't have hair by choice, that means technically it's almost like we would be ripping off another show that is done by two investigators that we know that you've been on.
Who's that?
The Bald and Bonkers. We can't go on that one.
Oh,
We can't.
yes.
So I want to thank them, though. They shouted me out on a stream they did yesterday as well. So thank you, Chris and Dakota, for letting me do that. But yeah, I think it's really if I lose my hair, we're going to be the identical shows, man. It's
Yeah.
we all know that this
But
is why people watch the stream.
I still think it's cool. Yeah, well, I still think it's a cool name for the show. I think they're Bald and Bonkers. They're
So
great.
despite the differences that me and obviously Chris has had over the in the past, they've actually done a really good job with this show. I watched it yesterday,
Mm.
and I'm proud of it. I think they've done something really cool. It's not through the lens level yet. I don't think it will be because you need you and me to make it like that, and obviously this little ginger guy. But I think they've done a good job with it. So I dig it. It's a fun name.
Cool.
It's a really fun name to have as a show. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've watched a number of their shows, and actually their shows are going up on Parapost as well.
Yeah.
And so then we have something to talk about after the show then. Me and you. So yes. So but why don't we get to our guest?
Let's do it.
Rob and Bill. Now, just a little bit of a short story. Rob reached out to me through Facebook Messenger about Parapost and wanting to go on Parapost and advertise. He's actually advertising on Parapost, and which I'm very grateful for. And I love his logo, the little skull there, and it's just a great little logo. So he reached out to me. So we started talking about Parapost. We started talking about advertising. He got onto Parapost. He started advertising, and he messaged me the next day after all this was done. And he happened to mention, are you related to a person by the name of Glenn Laverty?
Right.
And I go, actually, I do have a cousin named Glenn Laverty, but I haven't seen him in like 30 years.
Mm.
Well, he worked for a company, and Glenn Laverty was the CEO of that company. So it ended up being it's a first cousin that I haven't seen in 30 years. And it's just so many parallels between me and Rob. It was almost like we were meant to meet.
Mm.
And now I've reached out to Glenn. I haven't heard back from him yet, but this is a first cousin of mine that he used to work with up here in Toronto.
Small world.
It's definitely a small world. So there's definitely other parallels to me and Rob. We've talked a lot. And I will let everybody know we're going to do something a little bit different on the show today. This is the first time we're doing it. So actually it might be the second time we're doing it. But what we're going to start doing on the show is we are going to start showing clips of these investigators, of some of their best moments or some of their best clips. So we're going to be doing that in the middle of the show. So we're going to start doing that. I think we mentioned that last week with somebody with Brandon doing
Yes,
it with
we did.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I figured, why not do it? Why not start doing it? So
if you do enjoy it, we have to give some credit to Brandon
yes.
for helping us along with that idea. But yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I can't wait to do it. I mean,
Yeah,
you did say in the green room that we're doing it so I can tell them they're all liars, but
no. Lex is going to critique and tell them that they're faking. No, that's not going to happen. But there are three great clips. I can't even talk today. There are three great clips today that we're going to be showing. So stick around for that if you're interested in seeing that. So why don't we bring them up? This is Rob and Bill from the Get Haunted Network. And there's Bill. Let's bring up Rob. Sorry, I clicked on you, Rob, but you weren't coming up. I was going to go, are we going to have a problem?
I'm here. I was blown away by the intro. I was sitting here going, wow, that's a hell of an intro. That was really cool.
It is. That's pretty nice.
But, you like the intro, right? The intro of it's, we want to change it, but I don't know. It's just so good that why bother changing it?
Yeah, don't mess with it. It's good.
Yeah. So for a couple of weeks, it wasn't playing, but I don't know what was going on with this particular, what was going on with Melon, but it wasn't allowing us to play it. So, but I want to thank you both for coming on today's show. It's great meeting you both. And obviously, Rob, you heard me talk about that short little story, and it's just really, really super weird. And
it is strange. It didn't even occur to me until the next day. I'm typing and I'm like, Canada, Labrador. I'm like, I wonder if there's any connection there. And there it was.
There it was. And I have not heard from him yet.
Okay.
I tried to friend him on LinkedIn, and I don't know how often he's on it. So, but hopefully we'll connect and
let me know.
Really,
I'm curious.
Definitely, for sure.
That's cool.
So again, I'm glad you guys came on the show today. So why don't we just get started here? Rob, why don't you tell us about the Get Haunted Network?
Okay. So I'll do my best, right? It is, and thanks for having us, by the way. It's really difficult to nail it down to one thing, but I'll give it my best shot. You know, if I had to pick one sentence, I would call it a shape-shifting paranormal playground, right? Its original intent was really all about merch. For about 5 years, I worked for a larger event company, and I made some cool things, and I was going to sell some cool things on my website, and I really didn't have a need to do much else. I was constantly out, one, sometimes 2 weekends per month at, doing events at all these great locations across the country. But when that ended, I was kind of back to square one, and I was like, what am I going to do? And over all those years, I got to know a lot of great people and different teams and enthusiasts and people that love the paranormal, even location owners. So, all of this kind of comes together at the end of what I was doing there is how I met Bill. But, in a nutshell, Get Haunted is kind of this dynamic entity that, based on what your needs are, it can probably suit them, right? So if you're just an enthusiast, it's a cool place to come and see other people's evidence or see our evidence, ask questions. I really want it to be a community. It's something Bill and I are trying really hard to make sure that everybody's included, similar to what you're doing. If you're a small, medium, or even a large team, there's a lot of different benefits, right? I do, because of the skill sets I have, Bill has, and a bunch of other people in the network, we can make things a lot easier for people. Perfect example is t-shirts. I make shirts, and I know what small teams. So if you're going to go order 5, 6, 7, 8 shirts from, one of the big vendors online, you're going to pay a lot. And I don't know about everybody, but not everybody's flush with cash, especially now. It's tough times. And I've saved a lot of people a lot of money while making a couple bucks on my own, helping them with shirts. I do a lot of graphics and video stuff. I've helped, people design logos, and, I don't charge them for it. We just help each other out. And it's this very communal thing that's starting to happen that, every day I'm more and more proud of it. And the people that actually make this thing work. If you're a solo investigator, this is another great opportunity. And, this all kind of sums up at the end when we talk about events. But, it's tough. And that's where I was when I first started out, was like, all right, let me go find a team to investigate with. And no joke, probably every other one was, hey, they didn't even answer me. But the rest were like, we're full. We're good. We don't need anybody. Thanks. It's really hard. And, by having a network and having a group the way we have it set up right now, people are finding each other. It's pretty cool. I saw an example of that earlier today, actually. Owners, location owners, these people put so much time and effort into keeping these buildings open for us, and keeping the doors open so that teams can come in and do overnights. And these people work countless hours, and we're finding different ways to give back to them. And I'm trying to build a little bit of a, like a consortium so that people can meet every quarter maybe and talk about what's working and what's not working for location owners. That's kind of a work in progress. Promoters as well. Then part of this was, Bill was on with me in the last place we worked for. It's actually how we met. He showed up as a guest, and we became fast friends. He's walking around. Bill makes some amazing equipment that he sells through Empty Casket. In fact, it's why I stopped making equipment, because he made mine look really bad. So I'm like, you know what? You just make this stuff, and I'll go over here and do this other thing. But it was, we became friends at an event, which I think one of the clips that we have for you tonight is from that night. But we knew instantly, like this is going to be fun and this is going to work. And we both kind of ended up in the same situation, and we started putting our skill sets together to make something that's going to be helpful for everybody. So, in a not so clear statement, it's something for everybody in one place, hopefully. And because of Parapost and because of Facebook, we're starting to network with other people that have similar missions, and it's becoming really, really fun, really fast. On top of all that, we're starting to do our own events, right? So inside of Get Haunted is the Get Haunted Network. And we brought on, right now it's about 7 teams. We're calling them charter teams. And one thing I noticed over all the years of doing this is the little guys, it's really tough, right? If you want to go investigate one of these large prisons, it's $1,200, $1,400, $1,500 a night, if not more sometimes. And if you're a 4 or 5 person team, you're probably not going to do that unless you got a ton of money to burn, right? So it's like, why don't we co-host these things and get teams working together, right? And so we'll subsidize some of the costs. If we keep it private, that's great. If you want to do public events, even better. Maybe make a couple bucks. And for me, the biggest thing, right? You spend years kind of doing your own thing, developing your own techniques and your own methodologies, and that's kind of what you stay with. Just for me at least. And then I started investigating with other teams, and I'm like, holy cow, I never thought about doing something like that. So bringing people together in that way to maybe learn new techniques and methodologies, and God, just hanging out at night with people with some similar interests it's an amazing thing. So yeah, it's all of these things in one place. And really, if you need help with your team getting merch done, we can help you. We're building a Rolodex of people with different skill sets. I mean, I don't care. You could be a tax person. I know I got to worry about that in a couple of weeks. Why not share everybody's skill sets and make life a bit easier in an already challenging kind of environment? At least here in the US, it's hard. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. And I know, like, Nationwide Paranormal, they got something similar going on. So now we're talking. There's just so many good things happening. So that's the Get Haunted Network. It's a network, it's like, you just want to see people come together and get stronger and smarter and learn and help each other.
It's really good. It sounds almost like you guys and Brian with his Parapost Network, you've both had this similar goal, is to bring everyone who is enthusiastic about this, investigates it, researches it, use it as a hobby, whatever the reason to get into this industry or into this hobby. You've both found a way to bring everybody together. Obviously, Brian brings them through the social network, and you're bringing everyone together to build up what they want to be and everything like that. And I think it's a really wonderful idea, and it sounds amazing.
Thanks. I mean, it's challenging. We weren't even going to do this until 2022. Halloween came around. Bill and I were doing an investigation. Somebody had loose lips, and it kind of got out that we were going to do something. So I woke up the next day and my phone was blowing up. Actually, Halloween morning, and saw all these people going, "What are you doing? What are you working on? How do we get involved?" And I'm like, so I called Bill and I'm like, "Should we just launch this thing and see what happens?" And he's like, "Let's do it." It was Halloween, so we put a little quick teaser video together and went and did our investigation. And God, within a couple months, we're up, 600 and some odd members already. We have 5 events scheduled. Lots of cool things happening.
So let me ask.
It's growing fast.
Go ahead.
So let me ask you this: for people that are interested in these events, do you have to be a paranormal investigator? Can you just be an enthusiast?
No, you can be an enthusiast for sure. Like, it's open for everyone. One of the things that we're doing a little differently than most other places is most places cater to people who are a little bit newer with the ghost hunting, and so you get a lot of how to use the equipment, how to the different methodologies you could be using, which is absolutely fantastic for the new people. But then you get people who are experienced and they got to sit through that for a while and wait until they can kind of go off on their own and do their investigation. So we're structuring our events such that we can tailor the event on the day of the event for who's there. If it's mostly more experienced people, then once we go through our initial spiel of safety and all this stuff, go do your thing. If it's mostly new people, we can teach them. And if it's a good combination of the two, then we'll split into 2 groups, and people who know what they're doing go investigate in this area. We'll go teach the people in this area, and then we'll switch in a little bit.
We'll be there, and we will be there to help, with whatever they need. Like you said, we're going to tailor it to, people's skill levels, and that right now. And we also kind of tailored the ticket pricing to that as well. So if there's new people, not everybody wants to come. Somebody wants to dip their toe in the paranormal pool. Spending $150 on something they don't even know they like is probably not going to happen as easily as if it was $75, right?
So is that the normal price for your tickets? Is usually about $75?
It depends on the place, honestly.
Okay.
We're doing the Shanley Hotel in March, and that one's tough because it's by the room. If a room sleeps 4 people, you got to figure out the right way to charge that. So it kind of depends on the hire, because every place is different. Some places are inexpensive and others are expensive. And there's a lot that goes into it that I don't think people realize, like insurance and, getting everything ready. There's a lot of back end costs that come into there. So we're happy to get our money back and hopefully break even.
So what I want people to do, that people that are watching the show now, if you can, or that are going to be watching the replays, Rob and Bill's links are in the description. If you want to go follow them over on Facebook, you want to go follow them on YouTube or Parapost, their links are there. So go over if you're interested in one of these events. I think it's a great opportunity. And on top of that, you get to meet other investigators. And you guys might come together and collab and do something else down the road together. I think it's just a great network. And I think it's a great thing you guys are doing. If I lived in the States, I would definitely be at one of them for sure.
Oh, you're not that far, Brian. Come on. I'll drive up and get you. I'll drive. I won't drive to England, but we'll get you over here sometime.
I'll swim. I'll swim. Don't worry.
I definitely
right. And somebody actually said to me not long ago, they're like, "What? Why would you want to share the stage?" And I was like, "It's not my stage." I was like, "It's everybody's stage," and that's part of the problem. And some of the things I've noticed in all the years of doing this is people sometimes feel like it's their stage, but it's really everybody's stage, and I want it to be that way. So if we collab with somebody and it's a public event and we make money, they're getting half of it. If they work just as hard as we do at this thing, then they should get half of the profit. And that's just kind of how I see it. It's just everybody. I want everybody to win. I don't want it to be just us. Bill doesn't want it to be just us. We want everybody involved to win. And it's kind of a nice thing when you see it actually happening. It's cool. It's fun.
It's
great.
It must be hugely rewarding to see it unfolding as well as it's doing so far. But also, I love the I'm trying to find the right word for it. Probably I would say inclusivity. how like there is nothing anyone could say they wouldn't feel welcome to come to these events, because you're doing everything possible for it, and it's such a positive turn, especially in the paranormal community for the probably I'd say over the last year, where there's been in and outs of negative and drama stuff all the time. Sadly, I've been part of it to some degree, and it's nice to see the opposite coming out of this community now, where there are people like yourselves are doing something to bring the communities together and add people to this community and stuff like that. And I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Well, that was kind of
so many. I was worried with having, like a group site. I'm like, God, we're gonna have to be deleting. I don't think we've deleted one comment, and there's not been one negative anything on there so far. And it's like, I'm like, wow, like this is great. Like,
yeah, and that negativity is what the driving force behind this, really, because we both experienced it, and there's no reason for it. There really isn't. We're never going to be taken seriously by the scientific community if there's all infighting. So let's work together. Let's have everybody work together and build each other up.
You know what I like, and I think you mentioned this, Rob, during you're telling us about the Get Haunted Network, that it seems like, okay, you have your groups that are coming in and signing up for these events, but it sounds like everybody's on the same level. There's nobody bigger than somebody else. No. Because sometimes you have these events and you might have a group coming in and their egos are like way up here. And you know what I'm saying, and everybody knows what I'm saying. And it sounds like when all these people are coming together in this event, they're all on the same playing field, and that's what I like, and that's what it sounds like. And honestly, we don't have enough of that, because lately, even in the last couple of weeks, I've been going through Facebook and all these different social media platforms, and just seeing the amount of egos that is going on right now. I don't know if it's because people are bored, or one team thinks they're better than another team, or it's like some of the pictures that I'm even seeing on Facebook, for example, of these groups. It's so, you could see their egos are like here, and they're thinking they're better than somebody else. And it's like, I just don't get it. Really, I don't. And what I like about your group is it sounds like you're not allowing that.
Well, it's just happening naturally, right? Because those people, whoever they are probably not going to sign up to be part of.
True.
Oh,
lost Rob.
They're not going to be signing off. Gone.
Oh, let me get him back on here. That was weird. Let me get him back on.
I guess those people with the ego got in here.
Yeah,
there we go.
So
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend anybody.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we get
up to the network? And if they do, then they'll be gone. There was one or two that had to go early on, but that was it. For the most part, I've seen zero problems so far. So I have a feeling those people won't be showing up to a place that's very, very inclusive and where people work together.
And you know what? I have to be honest. That's what I like about Parapost. Like you said, you haven't had a negative comment in your group on your Facebook, and the exact same thing with Parapost. I've yet to have to delete anyone off the site. Everyone's been great. They're just posting their pics, posting their videos, and they're getting to meet other people. And like me and Lex have some good friends, Rob and Rob from the Patrol, that we're going to be collabing with in March, and because I'm flying out to the UK hopefully in March. Nice. And we're collabing with those guys, and it's I don't know. I find lately there's been so much drama, so much negativity, and it's just getting to a point where it's like, I don't even want to go on those platforms anymore. I want to stick with Parapost and just post on there, and that's it, and worry about that. But anyways, so why don't we get into the questions where we get to know more about you two as investigators.
Sounds
So,
good.
Lex?
Well, I want to kick it off with one of the most popular questions that we get on here, and one that me and Brian love to hear. So I want to hear it from both of you. Tell me, what's your origin story of the paranormal? How did you this become your life? What got you into this?
Well, for me, I grew up in a house that was haunted. Um, I didn't really have much experiences. My brother and sister had more so than I did, but we knew the house was haunted. But when I was in college, that's when ghost hunters kind of first came out. And being an engineering student, we had access to a lot of equipment that was very similar to what they were using. So we formed a small team and started going to some local places, Gettysburg in Pennsylvania, Centralia, and then some local places around the college. And after a handful of investigations, most of the other guys were like, okay, that was fun. Time to move on to something else. But I was a bit by the bug. And over the next several years, I'd get out as often as I could. But like Rob was saying earlier, it's hard to get into a group. I tried, and I ran into the same roadblocks that he ran into. And I was able to get out once in a while, nowhere near as often as I wanted to. And then when my brother got out of the Army, me and him started going to Gettysburg almost every year. And while we were there, we would investigate. And the more I investigated, the more I wanted to investigate. And then I met my fiance, and we went down to Gettysburg. And after that trip, we both decided we need to do this far more often. Let's try to do it at least once a month, if not more so. So we started up Empty Casket. And I started making my own gear just because I had the skill set to do it. And it was way cheaper for me to make it myself than to go buy it. And so we started going out, going with different groups, renting out places on our own or with friends. We met a lot of people along the way. I mean, there's times where we're investigating every weekend, and then we might go 2-3 weeks without an investigation. But yeah, we've been doing it a lot. And then, as Rob said, we were doing an event. We showed up, and it's kind of funny how we met. She bought me tickets to go to Mid-Orange Correctional Facility in December of 2020. It was for my birthday. That got canceled because of COVID. So we rescheduled for March. That got canceled because of a scheduling conflict. So it got rescheduled for April. And then we show up, and there's 5 people there. We're 2 of 5 people in a place that normally has 30 or 40 people there in a night. And that was the night Rob and I met. And like you said, we became fast friends, talk all the time. And
I was sure this was going to be the worst investigation ever. That place loves, people, it just comes alive with more energy. And I'm like, 5 people, this is going to suck. Right. I was like, I'm going to have to work tonight. In walks Bill, and he's carrying around this equipment. And I'm like, hey, come here. Like, where'd you get that? He's like, oh, I made it. And I'm like, all right, we got to talk, right? But it turned out to be one of the most active nights. So it was Bill, Tanya, 2 other people, and then this lady that just showed up that never ghost hunted before. And we had one of the most amazing nights ever there. The activity was crazy. It's just cool. It was cool.
Yeah, that was a fun night. That was the first of 4 times I've been there in the last year. Yeah, it's a lot. I love investigating that place. But yeah, so I ended up Rob insisted that I go work for him, and so we worked together for a while, and then we both left that company for a variety of reasons. And we had already started talking about Get Haunted, and we decided let's just grab the ball and run with it.
Wow. And Rob, what's yours?
So I wasn't out looking for ghosts, right? It was just, I didn't not believe, but I didn't make it a habit to go out and try to find them. So for my 30th birthday, a couple years ago, just kidding. It was a long time ago. My wife.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was keeping my mouth shut on that.
Yeah, I try to. It doesn't work always. But we got this place called the Southern Mansion down in Cape May, New Jersey. It's really cool. old bed and breakfast, right? And it's right on the Mason-Dixon line. So that building, the people that owned it made hats for the Confederate and for the Union soldiers. So it was like just this place. Didn't know it was haunted. She hated it from the minute we got there. And it's not cheap. It's like $300 a night or something. And she hated it. She was hearing sounds. She would take a shower. The light bulb would blow out in the bathroom. I thought she was crazy, right? I'm like, she's just uncomfortable. I was fine. Probably like the third or fourth night we're there. We went out to dinner. Came back. She fell asleep because she hadn't been sleeping well. And I eventually fell asleep. So for whatever reason, I woke up. It's middle of the night, 3, 4. I'm not sure exactly what time. But I looked over towards the bathroom and there's a woman standing there, like in the bathroom door. There's this lady.
Wow.
I'm from New Jersey, which is right near New York City. And so I jumped out of bed to fight this woman. Another joke. That's an East Coast American joke. So, but I jumped out of bed because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And she was gone. Like, she's just gone. I'm like, what just happened? I don't even know what to do. So I debated on telling Sue because we still had a couple days left and it was already not fun. But we went downtown that next day and there was a little bookstore and I see this book called The Ghost of Cape May. So I'm thumbing through it and there's the Southern Mansion. And then they start talking about this one particular room that has 2 windows. I know my room had 2 windows. And they talk about Esther, the ghost in there. And I just couldn't believe it, right? And things. So when we were checking out a couple days later, I did eventually tell her, but I told the guy at the front desk, I'm like, hey, you got electrical problems in there. That light keeps going out. And he's like, oh, Esther's at it again. And I was like, yeah, I know Esther. I got to see her, and they couldn't believe it. They ended up interviewing me. So that kind of got me thinking about the paranormal, right? It's really what got me watching all the shows and all that fun stuff. And then my dad lived here in this house, and my daughter was born. It's his only granddaughter, so she was about 2.5. He passed away, and then this place got weird. Like weird stuff started happening here around my daughter. She was drawing the creepiest pictures you'll ever see. Like it was movie stuff. I was going to burn this place down. It was like I was losing work, everything. But that's really what got me going out and doing investigations. And here we are. 12 years later. Doing this and talking to you guys. So that was my origin. 2 stories. Sorry. I
was going to say that was what I like about that. Not only were you jumping out of bed to fight this ghostly woman,
thank you.
So in the end you ended up shadow boxing, which is great. But got a late night workout. But
I would have lost, but I would have tried.
What I like is that
my cockatoo. Ignore her.
I was like, what?
Wow.
Sorry.
In here, it sounds very like it's here.
Yeah, she's loud. She wants attention. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, you're on TV. Hush. Well, I'll try and talk over the bird. What I like. You wanna go and sort that out? There was a cool thing you just said there, which both of you kind of said it. Bill, you said that you had the people that you were investigating with lost the interest and they just went off to do other stuff. And you said you got the bite, and I love that because it's the same as Rob, where you had one of the coolest first encounters of having an apparition, where it bit you straight away, and you knew that I'm doing this. And I love that about both those stories because me and Brian talk about it all the time, where we consider being a paranormal investigator, it's like being on drugs because it's such a rush every time you catch something and you want to keep getting more and more. So I love the fact you both mentioned like a certain thing where you were like, I had to do it. I had to keep doing it. I love that.
I've made that analogy before that it's like an addiction.
It is. And like for me, like I love EVPs.
And your bird is out of control, man.
Every time I get one,
she is.
It's literally like the first time when I get an EVP, we just, I'm like, oh my God, like I get all goofy and excited, and I don't know, man. It's just fun. I love it.
It's like Lex said, it is like a drug. Like you just want more and more and more and more, and you want bigger evidence too. And I'm the same way, like
EVPs are a gateway high. That's what it is.
Yeah, you get to a point though where you get to a level of evidence where you're like, okay, that's too big. Let's dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, when you get when you get thrown across a room, you're like, okay, we'll settle back for the door opening, please.
Haven't had that one yet, but
Oof. Me neither yet, thankfully.
Yeah. So again, both of you can answer this question. Could you tell us about a latest investigation or investigation coming up?
Oh, that's easy. Our latest investigation we did together.
Oh, fantastic!
just a few nights ago, we were at the Hoover House in Gettysburg.
Oh, I remember Rob telling me about this. Yeah.
How was it?
It was amazing. Steve and Pam, the owners, and Jim, they're amazing. The house is beautiful. We had a great time there. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It's such a different kind of haunt, right? So for me, over all these years, I've gone some crazy places. From the Queen Mary, I spent 11 nights. The Conjuring House. Sorry, bird. 11 nights of I've been old Montana, all these kind of crazy places, and the Hoover House is just such a nice and welcoming haunt, and it's so subtle sometimes, but then at the same time it's right there. It's just great. You don't ever want to leave. And part of it is the house, and the other part of it are the owners. They're just amazing people, so it's a lot of fun.
It's probably the only place I've investigated that there's no fear. Like it's very obviously haunted, but I could walk through that whole house in the dark by myself, being the only person in the house, and have no fear whatsoever. It was amazing.
Wow.
Bill lives in the Amazon. We didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to point out for the people that are watching, and I don't know if you see it, but right behind Bill, there is a coffin. Right behind Bill, there's a coffin, and obviously you can see his Ouija boards with his planchettes on the wall there, and I want people to understand this is not an office. This is my living room. Dining room. That's his living room, for God's sakes.
And haunted objects. All the dolls you see behind me are all haunted objects.
And this is why I brought Chucky on. I felt left out.
Yeah. Bill makes it really, really hard for me to argue with my wife that I don't have weird friends. He erased all of that for me. But it's a good weird in this case. But Chucky freaks me out. And I keep forgetting that you're sitting with him on the bed and he's like, nah.
Lex is proud of that.
Don't do that.
Lex is very proud of that.
It took me. When did Seed of Chucky come out? Because I got this. I've been wanting to get this version of the doll since it came out, and I only got it last year. I saved up money for ages to get it because it's obviously not cheap. Because I bought it from the Trick or Treat studio, but I don't think it's like my favorite thing.
There's a funny little story about that too, because me being an actor here in Toronto, my agent, her son was on the new series of Chucky. That just was filmed last summer.
If you haven't watched it, it's amazing. It was an amazing series. We watched it together, didn't we?
Yeah. I don't even know
He's
where
camera shy.
What channel is it on anyways?
I got it on Now TV. I streamed it.
Okay. Yeah. My agent's son is in the series.
Yeah, it was cool.
So that was pretty cool. But go ahead, Lex.
All right, curveball me, my friend.
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize.
So just before we move on to the next main question, I just want to touch on, because that was your last investigation. If you could touch on what have you got anything that's coming up next? Anything lined up?
Yeah, we have White Hill Mansion in February 19th. It's a beautiful, awesome place. Get great evidence there. Bill has some amazing evidence there. Old for America, built in 1723. Just an amazing. It was a house before we were a country, and it's got some pretty great activity in it.
And I will say that if you want to go over to Parapost, that is listed in the events. So if you want to find out more information about that, go over to Parapost, or you can go over to their Facebook page and find out more information and reach out if you're interested. And is that all sold out, or is it?
No, we got a few
there
more
are
spots.
tickets available.
Yeah.
A few more spots.
And what are the ticket prices?
So that one's got like a tiered ticket structure. So I believe it's like $79 if you want to come for just test it out, and we'll take you through the equipment. We'll take you on a couple mini investigations, see how you do. Then there's $129, for the overnight, and then we did the embedded. So we offer an embedded package, right, where like people come in and you're with us from start to finish. You meet us for dinner. We're going to have dinner. We're going to talk about paranormal. We'll share stories. We'll hang out. You're going to come in. You'll help us set up. I know it sounds like I'm hiring people, but I'm not. But, they get to experience. People don't know what it's like behind the scenes, right? When you're out getting all this stuff ready and getting there, and getting there early, getting to walk the place and feel it without other people there taking pictures. And then, we give them fun shirts and all kinds of cool stuff for being hardcore, like extreme paranormal investigators. But they're there from start to finish. They're there with us. They're kind of an honorary, get haunted team member for the night. It's pretty cool.
So that's what I would do. That is exactly what I would do if I was going to buy one of those. I like that.
It's cool,
It is.
Yeah. So, but there's, I think 5 tickets left there.
Nice.
Excellent.
So go on the events page.
What's the one after that? What's the one after that? What's the one? There is one after that, right?
The Shanley. I think that's March 26th.
Okay,
it's the 26th. Yeah, we still have a few tickets left for that, don't we, Rob?
It's 11 tickets the other day, so there's probably about 8 left right now. That's the other thing we didn't mention. We keep the Shanley can sleep 34. I don't want 34 people there, so we limit the number of tickets so that we can keep it a clean investigation. We can keep contamination out of the evidence as much as we can. So we limit them. When we started this, I wasn't sure how well it was going to go. So we kind of did like one a month, and we could have probably done more based on at least the trends right now, which is good. But I'd rather start slow and do it right. Start off and do it terribly.
So if you have one in April, then I will come to that one in April.
Oh, we do. We have White Hill.
White Hill.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, it's great. Great, Brian.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, then I'll come to that one. I will come to that one. Just for sure. I'll definitely let you know.
Awesome.
That's great. That's great. I look forward to it. I want to get into the States. I would love to get in the States more. It's just very difficult to get over there right now, especially with everything going on here right now. So
yeah.
But we got a couple others that we're working on right now. I'll can't talk about them yet, but we have some interesting stuff coming up. So yeah, it's awesome.
Nice.
Somebody just said White Hill is amazing. It really is. It really is. It's such a cool place.
I think one of the clips we sent you is from White Hill.
It is.
Excellent. Excellent.
Sweet.
We're going to get to that right after this next question. We'll get right into that. So I'm going to start setting that up. So go ahead, Lex.
No worries.
Start setting that up.
So I'm going to look. I like this question mainly because I've got someone who makes equipment down here. So this is cool. When you want an investigation, what is that one piece of equipment that each of you definitely bring with you? That your number one piece? What's your favorite one?
Oh, for me, I'm an EVP guy. I bring my DR60s and about 5 other recorders. I've been accused of being a one-trick pony and things like that, but it's for me. Hearing them talk is the best evidence, right? For me personally. And when I ask questions and we get answers, or even better, when I put that recorder in somebody's hand and I put them in a room and I'm like, start asking questions, and they come, especially the skeptical people or the people that are like, this might not be really true when they come out and we play those back, and that voice is there, and that look comes over their face like, wait a minute. Like, I know nobody said that. It's my favorite thing in the world. I spend way too many hours listening to EVPs. Analyze, I've probably deleted more, and I know people out there delete more than they ever thought they had. They're like, I don't hear anything, they delete it. Those voices are there. They get buried in these weird layers that if you start peeling them back and you know what to listen for, they talk. And so I love EVPs. I'll bring that. You know, if I don't have a recorder, I already got my body and my senses, which tell me more than I need to know sometimes.
Perfect. And over to you, Bill.
So my go-to kind of depends. If it's me and my fiance, the go-to is an SB7 with headphones, so that we can do the Estes method. That's our favorite thing to do. That's our bread and butter. However, if I'm by myself, dowsing rods.
Nice.
I've been using dowsing rods since I'm about 8 years old and get amazing results with it. And it kills me to say this because I make gear, but having the more spiritual experience is more important to me. And so dowsing rods is a good way to do that.
Yeah, cool. And I agree with you on the Estes method, by the way. I love it. It's my chalk and cheese. Absolutely love doing the Estes method.
Yeah, I was never a huge fan until Bill and Tanya got me doing Estes method, which gets kind of scary sometimes.
Oh, it scares the shit out of me.
It does.
Well, it's definitely a type of channeling, right? So sometimes you never know what you're going to be bringing out.
And we've gotten some weird stuff through it too.
Yeah. So why don't we do this? So this is what I'm thinking in the future, guys. I am actually going to put a little video together, and I'm going to put it into the stream here, and I'm going to turn it on, and it's going to pop up evidence, and it's going to be like some kind of music. What do you think about that? Sorry, I didn't start it now, but we're just testing this out and to see how well it does. I'm thinking that I should have a little video that says evidence popping out on the stream.
A little bumper. Yeah, I love it.
Good.
Awesome. So I'm going to set this up for everyone to see now. Let's just make sure I do this right.
It would help, yeah.
I couldn't really do it in the middle of you guys talking because then it would have moved everyone over. Okay, so let me see here.
Go easy on us, Lex.
What's that? Sorry?
Told me to go easy on him. I mean, I was doing a live show every Tuesday for a year debunking videos. So.
I was just... Okay, let's see. Oh, wait a minute here. Sorry, guys. Give me a minute, everyone. I'm trying to get this all set up.
Everyone in the chat, pretend it's an ad break. Go to the toilet because we're running longer tonight. So go to the toilet, get a drink, come back.
Okay. I just want to make sure everybody sees this. Or actually, I was able to add it. So let's, before we start this, sorry.
There may be some bad words in this one. Bill, did you edit out my nasty mouth?
I don't think you said too much in this one.
Okay, good.
That's right. I've sworn like 900 times already on this show.
If everybody can see this, that'd be great. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Chat, can you let us know?
So what I'm going to do is what's that? Sorry?
Nothing. I just said chat. Let us know if you can see it too.
Oh, okay.
So
here we go. So why don't you guys talk about this a little bit and let us know what this is about?
So this is the night, by the way, I met Bill, right? So I'm terrible at bringing video cameras and documenting things. Bill was all hooked up that night, which made me super happy. So we're up on the third floor in this building that I normally didn't get a lot of activity in. This is a former boys' school, and then it became a prison. So Bill and Tanya and the guests are standing in the hallway, and I'm standing in a room opposite the room you're looking into right now. And I see this black figure. I see the head just bop, and it's like walking through. and I completely lose. I lose my mind. I'm like, oh, I'm like flipping out because I literally can't believe what I'm seeing. Bill swung around with the camera and managed to capture kind of part of it.
Okay, so let's
And
play
I
this.
scared the crap out of Bill and everybody.
Yeah.
So let's
did.
play this.
Is someone in the room?
Just before you said that, I heard a whisper. I couldn't make it out, but I heard something.
Can you move that chair?
Oh, there. Yeah.
Oh,
Shit. Yeah.
Did you see it?
Holy shit.
So let me just go.
You were
back
worried about your
here.
mouth.
Let me go back here.
I heard a whisper. I couldn't make it
It
out, but
is hard to see in this.
That chair?
I was looking through the viewfinder of the camera. Yeah. And so I saw it. Holy shit. It scared the hell out of me. It came right out of the room towards me. Something black just come out and just drop
I'm
down.
gonna go back there again, one more time.
Just before you said that, I heard a whisper. I couldn't
You see
make
it
it out.
shoot up a little bit in the beginning.
Move that chair?
Yeah. Oh. Shit.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Holy shit.
Oh wow.
So the best
Something
part,
black just
at the
come
end,
out and just drop down.
yeah, it drops down towards the bottom of the door. Bill goes charging in to see this thing. It had already left the room. As I was walking in, I looked to the right down that hallway, and it was all the way at the end of the hallway, kind of looking at us. It was one of the craziest things in terms of like a shadow figure that, like, I saw it and they saw it. It was awesome. I did lose it though. You know, I was like,
It left the
dancing
room
in the-
so like it wasn't slowly coming out. That thing was like, I'm out.
Rushed out.
oh, it whipped out. Yeah.
Wow.
But in
Yeah.
the beginning, I saw this. He was like walking, just bopping through there, and I'm like, I couldn't even believe it. I had never seen anything like that. That was
Yeah,
cool.
that's
So
really cool.
I'm
That
going to
was-
go
that was amazing.
I'm going to go to the second one, and this. Okay, so let's go to this one.
So this one's actually at White Hill Mansion, which is where we're hosting our event at. This is up in the attic. So up in the attic, you come up the steps. There's a little hallway. There's a small room on one end and a larger room on the other. And then there's a little what used to be a bordello attached to that room. So everybody's in that larger room, except for me. I am down in the far room. You could actually almost see me. This is pointing down the hallway. You could actually almost see me down right in the center of the shot. I'm sitting there. So there's only 3 men in the building: myself, my fiance's son, and our friend Brian. And so, yeah, somebody asked a question, and we got a response that we all heard with our own ears, and it was not any of us.
Okay, so let's play this.
Is it okay that we're up here?
No.
Would you just hear?
Yeah,
Bill said something.
He's talking down there.
Somebody say no when you
That's
ask.
what
Was
I
that a
just
no?
heard that.
I thought I heard something. I
Yeah,
thought it was
that's
one of
what
you.
it
Bill,
was.
did you say something?
Let's play that again. That was really
That
cool.
we're up here.
It's right there in front of the camera.
No.
He just said-
Would you just hear?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's-
Bill said something.
He's talking down there.
Somebody say no when you ask.
That's what
Okay,
I
let's
just
see.
heard.
Sorry,
that.
guys,
thought
I
I-
missed it. Okay, so here it goes again.
Is it okay that we're up here?
No.
He just said-
Would you just hear?
Yeah,
he's-
Bill
Wow.
said something.
He's
Yeah.
talking down there.
Somebody say no when you ask.
That's what I just heard that.
I thought I heard something. I thought it was one of you.
One more
Bill,
time,
did you
guys,
say?
one more
Did you
time.
say?
So
Is it okay that we're up here?
No.
What do you want to
Oh.
say, Lex?
let me say, what's cool about this clip, not just the EVP, because that is phenomenally good. If the how loud it is to the camera, like you said, it's like it's in front of the camera.
Yeah.
If you listen to everyone in the room reacting to it,
Yeah.
you can hear that they're not next to it, like at all. You can tell they're further back, and you don't hear anyone move. So that could discredit anyone saying it's one of them, because you would have heard them shuffle back. So That's a really, really good EVP. And that sounded aggressively anti whatever I can't remember what the question was, like being there or whatever. That did not want to be nice at all.
No, and the fact that we heard it with our own ears, it wasn't something we discovered later. We heard it right there and then.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest, that night, so this is maybe 2 hours into the night, and honestly, we were bored. We knew what we were doing. We wanted to go investigate, but everybody else there, with the exception of 2 people, they were all brand new to it. And so they're going through all the motions of here's how K2 and how it works and all this. We were bored. And then this happened, and we were excited for the rest of the night.
So let me play it one more time for everyone, and then we'll get on to the next clip.
Is it okay that we're up here?
No.
Wow.
Would you just hear?
Yeah, Bill said something.
He's talking down there.
Somebody say no when you ask.
That's what
I just heard that.
I thought I heard something. I thought it was one of you.
Bill,
No?
did you say something?
What's that?
Did
Did
you
you hear
say-
something?
I
No.
didn't say no, I heard them.
No.
I heard no.
I thought he was talking.
That's why
I
I'm
heard
like,
no.
Bill's talking.
I thought it was one of you guys. Yeah.
No, I thought
we
he was
heard-
talking and
Yeah.
he said no. Exactly.
I didn't hear what he said. I heard.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's actually something right before the no. There's a whisper.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, play that again. I was so focused on the no, I never heard anything before it.
There's a little whisper right before the no that I just heard in my headphones.
I'm getting closer.
Okay. Right there.
Is it okay that we're up here?
Let me play one more time.
Sorry.
Let me play one more time.
Is it okay that
Missed
we're
it.
up here?
It's right at the beginning. Right there.
Is it okay that we're
Huh.
up here?
I hear something.
There's something.
It's like
Yeah.
Would you just hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill said something.
He's talking.
That's
Right
a little
there.
harder to say if that's an EVP or somebody up there.
I know, but now you know I'm going to spend 8 hours taking this apart and trying to find it.
Rob, I'll give you the longer clip, Rob.
Brian, you just created word for me, but
Sorry.
I also,
My
I'd also like people who have just listened to that in the chat, take into account when you're all discussing the no and how many people say it. You can automatically remove any women's voices away from it. You know it's not going to be a woman's voice. You can tell it was a gruff man's breathy voice. And then listen to the guy. I'm assuming, I don't know who it is, the guy that's in that room. I don't know if it was you, Bill, talking or somewhere else. But you get, when he says it, you can tell that it wasn't him too.
Mm-hmm.
The way the voice is, it just don't match up at all. That is really
right.
cool.
And Angelina's right. Angelina from Bad to the Bone is in the room, and she said it sounded like a sigh, and it does.
That first one, yeah.
Yeah, before the no.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, Bill,
Nice work.
Rob, for giving you more work.
but again, this is how cool is this, right? Because we probably would have just moved on with our lives thinking that was all we got, and now we're sharing it in a communal setting, and you just found more evidence for us. It's freaking cool.
So this one, now I'm not taking away from the rest of them, but this one, guys, this one is cool. Sorry.
This is why, Lex, what I always have on me as a recorder. This happened. This is at. Oh,
Sorry, Rob. Sorry, Rob. Go ahead, Rob.
So this
Go
is
ahead.
the Hoover House. Beautiful. I mean, stunningly
gorgeous,
beautiful
that.
place. It's in Waynesboro, PA. Right outside of Gettysburg. So anyway, I was fortunate enough to be invited there by one of our charter teams, East Coast Paranormal, and we sat in the basement and we did an EVP session. And this is a part of that video, which is up on YouTube and also on Parapost. And this is probably, I always ask them to say the word peanut butter, just because it's an odd word and you're not going to confuse some random sound with peanut butter. So I'll let the video speak for itself.
And I just want to show this comment right here before if I can show this. It's not showing. Okay. So Angelina actually said it sounds like, yes, it's a sigh. She thought it was, but it actually sounds like it's saying yes.
Huh.
And that's what I thought it was.
Okay.
Okay, so let's play this. And this one's great. This one's great, guys.
Give me one last favor, please. Can you repeat the word peanut butter?
Seriously, it makes me giddy every time I listen to it.
One last favor, please. Can you repeat the word peanut butter? Give me one last favor,
One more time.
please. Can you repeat the word peanut butter?
I love the look on Lex's face.
Yo,
Let me just type this.
Yeah.
When I heard that, when Rob said that, oh,
When you were
man,
telling-
when Rob
when you were
said that
telling
to
me
me on
earlier,
Friday,
when you were telling
Get
me
out
about
of
it
here.
earlier,
Get out of here.
they're gonna have confused it. Like they're gonna have, it's gonna be something coming through. It just sounds a little bit off. No, it says it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it says it so clearly.
It's
When I
so
played
clear.
that back, we all just kind of looked at each other like, what? Like it was good. And we were getting some prior to that, but that one was like right on top of the recorder and it enunciated the words for us. It's just beautiful.
And it was
It was
quick
beautiful.
as well. There was no delay for it responding to you either, which is really
It's
cool.
so
Like,
good.
as soon as your word finishes, it starts the other one. Like they start responding. It was really cool.
The best. I mean, so yeah, I don't think there was much. It's in Vox mode when I used the DR60, so there might have been a couple seconds, but we know, like I know when it's something's talking because that light stays solid red, and I'm
Yeah.
like, just wait. And
Oh, that's so cool.
the other part of that video, we just let the recorder roll. We were in the downstairs, what they call the TV room. And we just gave them. We're like, here's open mic, have fun. There's like full on conversation happening in this thing. You should check it out if you haven't. It's really good. That place just loves to talk. And when Bill and I and Tanya were there the other night, they just we were people introducing themselves, giving us their names.
Oh yeah.
It's just it's the place is incredible. It's
It
incredible.
really is. The place is just absolutely amazing.
yeah, that's
Oh,
great.
man.
So, well, I guess that leads up to this question: what has been your favorite place to investigate? Bill, let's start off with Bill.
My favorite place is where we have that shadow, White Hill Mansion, and not White Hill Mansion, Mid Orange Correctional Facility. That's my favorite place to investigate. Although the Shanley Hotel is quickly becoming a very close second.
Nice.
Wow.
And Rob?
This is tough for me because I've literally been all across the country at all these different places. I'm gonna have to say Missouri State Penitentiary. I've been there so many times. I've had some of the craziest experiences there, and I love all the people that work there. Not that I don't love the other locations, but I've got the most experience there, and I've converted more skeptics at that place than anywhere else. But I love MSB.
Nice. Just quickly,
What
Phil.
is-
Sorry,
Go
Brian.
ahead,
Just for Bill, quickly. There's a question in the chat here. Where is White Hill Mansion?
That's in
It's in
Fieldsboro, New Jersey.
There we are, guys. And I also want to give a quick shout out to I can't see the Facebook names on here, but someone who clearly is a fan of the show and watches us all the time made a reference to me being Lex 2075 and saying that I'm
That's
growing my
Angelina.
hair. Angelina.
Angelina.
That
Yeah.
I'm growing my hair until 2075. It's a joke from about 6
Oh, he froze.
weeks ago. I was saying I was
Yeah.
going to do this when I was old, so that's really cool.
Wow. You froze there for a minute there, or is it just my end? Did he
No, he
freeze
froze.
for you
Yeah, he
guys?
froze.
Yeah. You froze a little bit there,
Ah,
Lex.
God dang it.
You-
Anyway,
you didn't get to say
Angelina,
what you said.
it was great. I'm just saying it was a cool throwback to a joke from 6-7 weeks ago. It was cool.
What is it about? And I want to now we're going a little bit off the rails here from our normal questions, but what do you think it is about prisons that makes them so fascinating to investigate?
The emotion. There's so much emotion at prisons. Most of it's negative, but people getting out and or having loved ones come, you could get those positive emotions there too. It's such an emotionally charged area that you get residual haunts. People get killed in prison and they don't know it's coming. So you get those tragic deaths that cause the more intelligent hauntings. And then you get some dark stuff that comes through too, which isn't always depending on what the dark thing is. Sometimes those can be fun to investigate, and if it crosses the line to too dark, then it's no longer fun. But
yeah, I've been there too. For me too, I could never do it. I could never go to prison. I don't like being confined, but when you investigate a prison, like Missouri, that front gate still rolls open and that sound is there. So when you enter, like you're hearing it, the gates rolling open, you hear the bars being closed. And when you walk in, I mean, A Hall was built for Confederate prisoners. The history there is ridiculous, but you're in this prison and you can't, as much as you think you can imagine what life was like, you can't. And it wasn't good. But for all the reasons Bill mentioned, it's all of that. Missouri also has the gas chamber, which I have a difficult time investigating. I don't like going down there, but you just know, like you can almost imagine what that was like being there, and none of it was fun. I don't know, but it's just things stick there. It's a different kind of thing, right? So we're at Hoover House the other night, and it's just like awesome, and you're happy. But when you walk into those prisons, like Eastern State Penitentiary, I used to investigate almost every weekend. It felt like there's something totally different about those places. So if you need to recharge your fear factor, prisons are a good place to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Definitely.
Talking about fear factors, lovely segue here. Mwah, good work, me. I would like to credit where it's due, boys.
Chucky, pat him on the back. Chucky, pat him on the back.
Thank you. I wanted to. So obviously those are your favorite ones. You spoke about prisons there and the fear factor. What's been the scariest places you've been to? Or scariest place you've been to? Or scariest moment?
Go ahead, Bill.
So it would probably have to be another prison out in Western Pennsylvania. It was a TB hospital and then a prison. And I had my single scariest moment there. I was leading a group in the old chapel that's on the premises. And I'm on my third group of the night. And in both prior groups, people were saying they kept seeing a shadow standing behind me. And I stupidly said, why is there always something standing behind me? Because it doesn't matter where I go, where I investigate, somebody always sees something behind me. Like, why is it always behind me? Why can't it ever step forward to where I can see it? Well, the very next group, everybody's sitting down in the pews. I'm standing up, giving the talk of, here's what we're going to be doing tonight. Here's the equipment we're going to be using. And I look over to my right, and 2 feet away is a person standing right there next to me. Except I could see through him. And it scared the ever-living shit out of me. I jumped back. I was cursing and screaming. I acted like Rob there for a little bit because he's always gets really animated. It's one of the few times I've completely lost my composure. It scared the hell out of me. But the funny part about it is the next day I'm driving home and I call my mother and I'm telling her what happened. And she goes, oh, good, it worked. So, what the hell do you mean it worked? She goes, oh, I prayed to your grandfather that since you're, getting really deep into this paranormal stuff, that I wanted him to scare the hell out of you so that you, A, knew that it was real, and B, knew that this is what you wanted to do. So if you got scared and still wanted to do it, you can continue doing it. I'm like, well, mission accomplished. Thanks for that.
Oh man. Well, that does sound creepy. It is cool, like with the ending story there. That's really cool as well. And for you, Rob?
Yeah, I have 2, but I'll only talk about the first one because that one literally, it changed me in a way that I never really expected. Right, Old Montana prison in Deer Lodge, Montana. It's an old territorial prison. One of the scarier places that I've ever investigated a few times. One night, we were there, and this family asked us to take them down into the hole, which is near kind of across from the chapel and down a set of stairs. I got a bad feeling in that chapel every time I went there. But anyway, went down in the hole. Something happened, this figure showed up, and it really affected everybody there, including, the family that had asked us to take them down into the hole. We kind of got out of that situation. We left, we went upstairs, and we were standing next to the chapel talking about what happened, trying to make even a little bit of sense out of it. And I was like, it's got to be in the chapel. It's in the chapel. So went in, 2 people walked in with me to look for this thing. And I walked to the front of the chapel. There's a big cross on the wall. They sat in the front pew. And I was looking at the cross. It was probably like 4:00. And after a couple of minutes, I'm like, we got to go. Something feels off. So I turned around to tell these 2 that we needed to leave. And they were gone. They were already gone. I'm like, what? So there were a bunch of people at this event. I think 65 or 70. So I ran to the hall, to the door, and I'm looking up and down the hallway. There's not a soul. There's nobody. And that's really creepy and not normal. So I run, and then I run up the stairs to go out to the big courtyard where we parked our trucks, and there's nobody there. The trucks are gone. People are gone. I started to panic a little bit. I grabbed my phone to try to call for help, and I looked at my phone, and it was 5:00-ish. It should be like 4:10, 4:12. Something happened where for like 30, 40 minutes, I was just gone. I don't know where I was. Finally, I see the truck coming back, and I'm a little bit upset with people because we don't leave each other ever. And they got out of the truck. I'm like, where were you? And they're like, we were driving those people out to the front gate. I'm like, but you left me. And like, no, you didn't. You were with those other 2 people. I'm like, well, and they were the last guests. This family was the last guy. I was like, so if you drove them out, who did I go in that room with? And nobody knows to this day. And after thinking about it a billion times, probably, they never made a sound. Even when they sat in the wooden pews in the church, there was no creaking. There was nothing.
Oh,
Lost them.
Way to leave it on a cliffhanger.
That's a way to end it.
There we go.
Thanks for coming. So yeah, it was a time slip. I don't know what happened. I don't know who those people were. Nobody can seem to figure it out. And it spooked me to the point where I was like, I kind of quit ghost hunting for about a month after that.
That's incredibly
I don't know what
scary,
happened.
though.
I was just gone.
yeah. I hope to never encounter something like that.
It's not a good feeling.
It's not. I know other people that have gone through it, and it is scary. It can be very, very scary to lose that time. Wow. That's I understand why you took a month off. I'm surprised you didn't take longer.
I wanted to
be honest.
But again, it's like you take time off, but then at the same time, you're like, I got to get back out there. I miss doing this stuff,
Yeah.
Wow.
I had the shit scared out of me, and I turn around. I want it more. So your analogy before about it being like a drug, that's exactly it.
Yeah, it's definitely scary. I think those have been some of the scariest things we've heard on this show. And
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely. I might actually have to write when I watch this back. I might actually write those both down. I've got a book in the studio where I write out some of these origin stories that people tell me. In the event that one day I might just put them all up on a website and just be like, listen to this. You don't believe in it? Read this. Watch the show. Read this. And it's just cool to keep them in notes. So, I mean, granted, if anything bad ever happens to me in real life, and then someone searches my house and they find this journal of all these origin stories, like, what happened to this guy? But no, I can't imagine what I've not had an apparition yet, so I'm still waiting for that first apparition, especially one that I can see with my own eyes. So, Bill, like yours appearing next to you, a see-through figure standing there.
What you want is for it to walk like through a doorway in front of you, not be standing 2 feet away from you when you turn your head.
Yeah, definitely walk ahead of me first. Yeah, I want to see
Yeah.
it first. I mean, when we had Brandon on last week, he had a floating head appear here behind him, and he turned to look behind him because the other group of people could see it, and he said that he was like out of there straight away. And that was the joke of it. That's when you said about the last question, Brian, in the green room, that I said it was about chickens. Last week was the floating head that asked the question, remember?
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I get my first apparition, I would like it to be something walking in front of me.
I got a strange feeling that this question is going to involve a coffin.
No. Definitely not, Brian. But I'll just finish this quick point and then I will ask that question. But also Rob's one, as much as that's a really scary encounter, part of me wants to go through it. Like a small part of it. And this is where I think the rush thing comes in, because I know it's going to be a horrible feeling. Like, even when hearing you tell me it, I was like trying to imagine what that would be like, and I can't imagine it. So there's like a 10% of me would want to go through it to say it's happened.
Yeah,
90% of me is like, fuck that, I don't want anything to do with it. But 10% of me would like to experience something similar.
I've had an experience where I was in a location that the location was great. Like I felt really good there until I walked into one room. And as soon as I walked into the room, I had this really sharp pain right in my clavicle. And I'm like, that's not normal. This isn't good. I need to get out of here. But then there's the paranormal investigator in me that's like, no, something's happening. I need to know where this goes. And so I'm kind of just standing there trying to decide, do I get out of this room to get away from this bad feeling, or stay here and see what happens? And then Tanya looks at me and says, what the hell's wrong with you? And I told her, she goes, let's get out of here. And we walked out of the room. As soon as we stepped out of the room, I felt fine. But yeah, I was kind of on that fence of, what do I do here?
It's a tough call.
I had a similar experience. I have a video up on Paraflix right now of Burwash Prison, a prison that I've been to. I was coming from the basement, walking up the stairs, and all of a sudden I got this really, really sharp pain right here, and it almost felt like I was being stabbed. And it lasted for about 5 or 10 minutes, but I still felt the pain probably 2 or 3 days after we finished that investigation. And I say it in the video that I did, that it actually felt like I was being stabbed. It almost felt like, you know, when you're in a prison, people get shanked. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It's exactly what, obviously I don't know what it feels like to be shanked, but, or being stabbed, but the pain was excruciating. I had to stop. We had to stop filming for about 10 to 15 minutes because it felt like I was going to keel over. That's how bad it was. And I know that feeling for sure.
Bill, were you ever shanked when you were in prison?
Nope.
What?
Maybe that's for another show.
Maybe. So this is going to lead me on to my final question for you guys. This has been a blast, by the way. We are half an hour running over the normal time we finish at, and I'm loving this conversation. Oh, it's great. I'm having a wonderful time. But I just want to ask you this. Imagine, guys, that the next, Rob, if you went round to Bill's and I told you over the phone, look inside that casket, you'll find some coordinates that you have to use the Ouija board to decipher. When you find it eventually, it's a bag of all the money in the world from me and Brian. Where would you, if that was the case? And you
Where the hell is this going?
That was a good one, though. Come on.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, actually.
And you could, so if we gave you all the money anywhere in the world to do an investigation, where are you going?
Toledo, Spain. I got to go there a bunch of years back. It's like this medieval town. And I mean, the Knights Templar were there. There was so many things happen. I don't know if anybody here has been, But I was there on a business trip, and I wished I had brought my equipment, because as I was exploring the town, I was just like, holy cow, like, you got the feels like nowhere else. I mean, I love these locations here, but I'd never been in a place that old, and like with dungeon churches, that it was just, I'm like, I gotta come back here, and I gotta bring a recorder. I was gonna go buy like a recorder over there just to try, but
Yeah.
the places. So I would go to Toledo, Spain, or Toledo, however you say it. It was
Nice.
just an amazing place, and I know it's haunted. I know it is.
Why
Bill?
didn't you? How long ago? Sorry, Bill. Just I want to ask, how long ago was this?
I think it was 5 years ago.
Why didn't you pull out your phone and use your voice recorder in your phone?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
for bringing it up.
Hindsight is a
I
great
don't know. Like I wasn't even supposed to go there. I was there for a 3-day business meeting, and they were like, they made me work one day, and they were like, go explore Spain. And I'm like, okay. So I jumped on a bullet train, found this place, not even knowing like really what it was going to be like. And when I got there, I was just so in awe. Here the oldest buildings are like 300 years old. They're 1,000 years old. It was just amazing. So I was walking around like dumbstruck the whole time.
Yeah,
It's just cool, and I probably wasn't thinking. It was just, yeah, I know. Good point.
it's okay. It's okay. I was just curious. Yeah, I completely understand, because I've been to town and cities where you're just. I went there and didn't take a damn picture.
Yeah.
It's because you're just so enthralled in what's going on and what's around you, especially history. Especially when I've been to England a couple of times, or the UK a couple of times, and there I was in what castle was it? I think it was in Salisbury Castle, and I didn't take any pictures. Like, when's the next time I'm going to be in Salisbury Castle in the UK?
Right.
And I didn't take a damn picture. Anyways, so I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, and Bill, where are you spending this money?
Well, I have a very, very long bucket list of places I want to investigate all over the U.S., North America, Europe. But if I had to put one place on top of that list, if money was no object, it'd be Panari Castle in Romania.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've been a huge fan of vampires and Dracula and all that since I was a little kid. And so when I found out that Dracula was a real person, I started studying up on him, and I want to go to his castle.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
No,
Incidentally, this year is 125th anniversary of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh wow!
Maybe look in
think,
that
Rob?
casket and find that.
What do you think,
coordinates
Rob?
I
We
left
take a
you.
trip out there or what?
I'm ready.
Just a skeleton.
Oh yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Bill, fly
Sure.
out there. Lex,
Sure.
meet us out there too.
But hang on, you want me, a Brit, to get on a plane, fly to a castle where Dracula lived? Fuck yes. I'm in.
That might be the best answer ever.
Yes.
I'm in.
Oh God, there's a saying that Brits don't really have much of a sense of humor. I would say that they are completely wrong, because Lex is one of the funniest guys that I've ever had the. I don't know, like, he's just so funny. You know how they say sometimes Brits can be very, very cold?
Yeah.
Lex, it must be half of something else, because he's not cold at all. And they're just it's a great place in the UK, and I'm looking very forward to meeting up with him, and we are and people should know this, we are actually going to do an episode of Through the Lens when we're in the UK.
So we're actually going to be in the same room for the first time ever.
Yeah.
First time?
First time ever.
Oh,
we've only met each other online. We've never actually been side to side.
So I'll quickly tell you guys, when I first started doing paranormal investigations, and I still remember, this is one of my favorite things I've ever told people. I remember I filmed my first video of graveyard. I edited it. I was really nervous about putting it online, and I'd followed Brian on Twitter, and he messaged me because I think I put a tweet out saying like my first video is going to be coming out, and he messaged me like, "Are you nervous?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm very nervous. I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant about posting it." And he walked me through the process, and he's been with me since that first time, all the way up until now, and doing this. So we've been through my whole paranormal journey. He's been by my side. So absolutely owe a lot to him for that. So it's gonna be good to do it.
Where's
good
the
to.
tissue?
Oh, this is heartwarming.
You're always nice to me, Brian. It's about time I said something nice back.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, no, that's not right because you said something nice last week because Lex
Oh, did
got
I?
COVID. Lex got COVID
Oh, I did I? Yeah.
over Christmas, and I thought he was going to be alone, so I called him on Christmas Day to wish him a Merry Christmas because I thought he was going to be alone, and I was upset for him because he wasn't going to be able to be with his family. So I called him just to wish him a Merry Christmas and talk to him and stuff like that. And I found out his girlfriend ended up getting COVID, so she was there anyway. So, but I just felt terrible. And you mentioned that last week, and that was nice. So
Yeah,
that's 2 weeks in a row. That's great.
I know. So next week I'm going to be a dick. I'm just saying. Next week, get ready.
Wonderful. Well, you know what, guys? We have gone way over our time, but you know what? The time flew by. Like I just
Really
looked at the
did.
clock and I went, "What? Oh my god!"
Wow.
It was like this was a lot of fun, and I want to bring you guys back on for sure, and I definitely want to bring you back on after your event. When's your event? It's in February, right?
February 19th.
February 19th. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring you guys on. And if you guys can do some video and some clips and send them to me,
Absolutely.
and then we could put them on so people can have a real good idea what's going on in these events. So I'm not just talking about paranormal. I'm talking about the event, what you guys say at the event, what you guys do. And then what we can do is we can put that up there so people can see your events. And because I think if people see your events and what's going on in your events, you're going to have solid bookings in all your events, you know, and that's what I want. That's what I want for you guys, because I think you're both fabulous people. And I really, really loved talking to you both. And obviously, you know, and this is why we do this show, because we develop new relationships and new friendships. And I look forward to coming out to one of your events and just having that full experience, and it's great. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for you guys coming on the show today and making this an outstanding show, because you both are great people. And Rob, I know we've spoken quite a bit over the last week or so, and I'm happy that you reached out and asked about Parapost, because
I am too.
It's turning into, I think, what's going to be a great relationship with all of us. And again, thank you guys for coming on the show. And I'll say my goodbyes.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, really seriously appreciate it. You know, it's this isn't my normal thing. Like but I do love talking to people, and you guys made it so easy. So, you know, seriously, thanks a lot for even considering to have us on. It's truly an honor.
Yeah.
Well, now you're going to be
been a lot
back.
of fun.
You're going to be back now. So maybe we'll make you guys a regular. Like every time you have an event, we'll bring you up on the show, and then you guys can talk about the event. I think that would be an amazing idea. What that means now, every time you do an event, you're going to have to film separate footage for this show. So not only footage for your investigations, but footage for the show.
That's fine.
Yeah, we could do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't sleep much. I might as well have more projects. That's all good.
Well, we already gave you more work to do, seeing as we found another EVV for you. But yeah, I think you guys really on this show tonight, you guys have really embodied what me and Brian wanted this show to be when we first thought of this ages ago. When we first started talking about doing this show, it was about showcasing people that aren't in their 7 million subscribers and stuff like that. They don't need exposure; they've got it. It was to showcase people who aren't getting recognized as much. And you guys are the perfect embodiment of the perfect people that we would love to show off to everyone. Inclusivity in all your projects, professionalism, authenticity, and the fact you're just lovely guys in general. So it's been an absolute pleasure for me to speak to you guys. I'm so glad. I've just followed you on Facebook, on your page as well, so I can keep up to date with all that stuff. But it's been an absolute pleasure to meet both of you today. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, likewise.
Seriously.
Thanks for having us on. This has been a lot of fun. We'd be happy to be back. We love talking to you guys. This is great.
So what I'll do for you guys, if you guys want to give your plugs for your channels and your group pages, you can do it now.
Yeah, sure. So check out the Get Haunted Network group page. If you can't find that, Get Haunted on is our main page, and there's a link to the group page there. We have a YouTube channel. What else, Bill? Empty Casket Paranormal. He is on Facebook. He has an awesome
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
Okay.
and then if you're interested in checking out any of the equipment I make, right now I'm on Etsy. It's under Empty Casket Equipment. Eventually we'll be migrating everything over to Rob's Get Haunted page, but right now it's Etsy.
And I told Rob, and I don't know if Rob mentioned this to you, Bill, but if you want to start showing your stuff on Parapost, like your equipment, go ahead.
Okay.
Let's do it. Post it. And you're more than welcome to post it, and put a link to it, and people can go over to it. If you can, what I'll get you to do is send Rob or send me your links for all your channels, and I'll put them into the description as well, so people can follow you on other pages as well. Okay,
all right, I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you.
And we'll definitely speak soon.
Thanks, guys.
Sounds great.
Ciao.
Have a good night.
You too, guys.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, I think I've said it. That was a hell of a show.
I don't think we've ever gone that far past our normal
I think
time.
we did an hour and 20. It was our last one.
Yeah, but
that was
you know what? Like I said at the end there, when I looked at the clock, I went, "Holy crap! I didn't even realize we had gone that long." But so we want to thank Bill and Rob for coming on today's show. Again, people, go down below in the description. Go over to Get Haunted. Find out more about them. Obviously, you met them now. They're great guys, and if you guys can share this out, this video, that would be wonderful as well. And as we never say, and we start saying, if you want to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe and hit that bell, that'd be wonderful as well. And if you want to leave a comment about this show today, that would be great. But we'll definitely see you next week. There is a possible guest that I'm speaking to right now that's kind of popular. So we'll see if he's going to be coming on the show next week. So
lovely.
But I'm going to say my goodbyes, and hopefully you guys have a great, what time is it? 5:45. A great rest of the day and a great week. We'll definitely see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Thank you to everyone who's in the chat room now, and everyone who watches this back on replay. Share this out, get the message out. Thank you to the Get Haunted Network, and we'll see you next week.